Hello everyone, this is a lesson on parallel lines. Okay, I'm gonna explain how parallel lines work, and then I'm gonna explain to you which ones are equal as well. To start with, let's see what's a parallel line. When you have two lines that have equal distance along the way, how would you know? They're gonna tell you in a statement that they are parallel, and they're gonna give you arrows like this. If you have only one set of parallel lines, they'll do one like that. If you have more than one set, then they'll do one on each pair, and on another pair they'll do two. Then you can see that those lines are parallel. Okay, because they are lines. When we name lines in maths, we use two alphabets. This is line AB, which is parallel to line CD. When we name angles, we either use 3 letters or we use 1. Lines, you use 2, angles 3 or 1. Okay, parallel lines. When you have parallel lines, you actually have 3 things. The first one is corresponding angles. The corresponding angles of parallel lines are equal. Now let's look at our diagram and see which ones are corresponding angles. Right, with corresponding angles, we are going to look for an F shape. But this is not English. It doesn't mean F will look like this. F can look like that also. Right, when you have an F shape, which angles are parallel? Are not parallel. Alternate corresponding angles is that angle and that angle. But this line must be parallel to that one. If you have them like this parallel to that, you're going to have that angle and that angle equal. Okay, let's look at the diagram and see which one are equal. Right, when you look this parallel line, this one and this one, you see we have an F shape going down like that. So this angle is equals to that one. There is a lot of corresponding angles in this diagram. That's the first set. I also want to show you how do you write them. Because they've written the 1, 2, 3, 4 for you, they are telling you that angle E2, then you write that thing there to show that angle E2 is equals to angle F2. Then you write that. And your reason will be corresponding angles. With parallel lines, you always have to say which lines are parallel. So why are we saying we have corresponding angles? Because line AB is parallel to line CD. You are actually telling the person who's marking your script that, how did I find the F? I looked at the line AB and the line CD. Let's find another set of parallel lines. Now when you look here, you have that angle equal to that one because these lines are parallel. So when I write, I'm going to write F4, or you can start with E4. It doesn't make a difference. E4 is equals to F4, and your reason will be corresponding angles. You have to add that line AB is parallel to CD. If you don't add which lines are parallel, you lose that mark. You lose the mark for the reason. Okay, let's look at another one. Now, when you look here, there's an F that goes like that. So that angle will be equal to that one. E1, angle E1 will equal to F1. Corresponding angles, same parallel lines. And the last one, do you see you have a F going down like that? That angle equals to that one. E3 equals to F3. Corresponding angles, line AB parallel to CD. Do you see in one diagram you actually have 4 sets of corresponding angles? So when you get a question, you really need to look at which ones are corresponding angles, which lines am I using as parallel lines. Let's go to the second one, the co-interior angles. Okay, the second thing that you get when you have parallel lines is co-interior angles. Co-interior, interior means inside, is the shape U, but the U is a four-corner U, not round like that. These angles that are inside the parallel lines, this line and that line will be parallel. These angles, very important, they are not equal. They are not equal. They are supplementary. Supplementary means they add up to 180. They are not equal. They are not like the corresponding angles. They are not like the alternate angles. These two are equal. Co-interior angles are not equal. Okay, let's look at our diagram and see which angles are co-interior. Okay, now these are my parallel lines. You remember you have to look for parallel lines, the angles that are between the parallel lines. So this is the parallel line, this is another. So co-interior angles, the ones that are inside are this one. So it's E4 and F2, they are not equal. E4 plus F2 supplementary, meaning that they are equal 180. And the reason it's co-interior, you have to add the parallel lines as well. AB parallel to CD. The other co-interior angles are this one, F1 and E3. So F1 plus F1 plus E3 not equal, supplementary, meaning add up to 180. Your reason, co-interior parallel lines parallel to CD. Right, let's look at the last one. Okay, alternate angles. The alternate angles is an N shape, or do you see this N can be written like this also. You look for an N shape or a Z shape. Okay, let's look for that in our diagram. And also this must be parallel to that. That must be parallel to that. Okay, let's look at our diagram. Here's our parallel lines. So our alternate angles will come like that. Let me draw it with a red pen. You see, it goes like that, like that. So my alternate angles is that one and that one, which is angle E3 is equals to F2, and the reason is alternate angles. You also add parallel lines, AB parallel to CD. Let's look at another set. Now do you see? Go like that, go like that, go like that. My alternate angles now, that one and that one. So it's E4 is equals to F1. Your reason, alternate angles, we add parallel lines. This is Euclidean geometry, shapes. You have to look for them. So for you to remember, when you have parallel lines, you must look for fun. Because maths is fun, you look for this, fun. F for corresponding angles. U for co-interior angles which are not equal, which are supplementary. Supplementary means add up to 180. And you look for alternate angles. And this equal to that, alternate angles. That and that add up to 180. that, and that equal. Parallel lines, fun. Okay, let's look at an example. When you get a Euclidean geometry example, a geometry example, just take some time and look at what we are given. What do you have? Already I can see, you see these arrows that I was talking about. This line AB is parallel to ST. But I also have another set of parallel lines. EF is parallel to CD. Okay. Once we have parallel lines, we are going to look for F for corresponding angles, U for co-interior angles, and L for alternate angles. You want to start where you have the value. Do you see they ask me A, B, C, D, E, but I only have that value 45. So when I look at that 45 and the A, I have co-interior angles. So I'm going to say A plus 45 degrees is equals to 180. And my reason is co-interior angles. You remember with parallel lines, you have to say which lines are parallel. AB parallel to ST. Do you see here? You have two sets of parallel lines. That's why it's important to say which one. So now we're going to solve for A. A is equals to 180. I take the 45 to the other side. Then A is equals to 180 minus 45. Right, 180 minus 45 is 130 degrees. So my angle A is 135 degrees. With Euclidean geometry, go to the diagram and write the value. I'm going to use a different color so that you can see. Use a pencil and go to the diagram and say this angle is 135 degrees. Okay, now look at what else can I find. Do you see you have an alternate angle here? You have that Z here. So it means angle B is equals to 45 degrees. And the reason is alternate angles. Which parallel lines did you use? That parallel line and that one. It's AB parallel to ST. Go to the diagram. Write it. This one is 45 degrees. Now, when you look at this one, when you look at E, F, and C, E, we have co-interior angles here. So, angle C plus 45 degrees is equals to 180. And your reason, co-interior angles. But which parallel lines are you using now? EF and CD. So line EF is parallel to CD. Go to your diagram, put that value. No, not yet. You have to calculate it. So C is equals to 180 minus 45. So C is equals to 135. Diagram 135. I want you to look at something also here. Do you see if you chose to use corresponding angles using that line parallel to that one, that angle will be equal to that one. So usually in Euclidean geometry there's more than one way of solving a problem. Now we're going to find angle D. Angle D is, do you see that angle and that one? Do you see an F that's facing like that? So angle D is equals to 135 and your reason is corresponding angles. Which parallel lines are you using? That one and that one. AB parallel to ST. Okay, so you put that 135 there. Okay, let's look at angle E. Do you see that angle and that thing? They're corresponding angles and F that's looking up like that. So angle E is 45 degrees and the reason is corresponding angles. And which parallel lines are you using? AB parallel to ST. Okay, we have found all the angles that they've asked us. There are so many other ways that you could find the answer. In Euclidean geometry, if you do the correct maths and write the correct reason, you get full marks. So you could have used straight line here, you could have used vertically opposite there. So you can use so many different ways. It's not that these are the only answers that you are there. Please practice, practice, practice. This is a topic that you're going to take to grade 12. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed, please do.